What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. It's episode number 18 and we're starting today's episode with a recap of World Cup 2022 as promised in the season finale. As you can see, Germany made it through their group in Group B to the last 16 of the World Cup. However, as you'll see, they were knocked out in the first knockout round on penalties by Portugal. So Germany did make it through, but out of the first knockout round. And as you see, the quarter-final ties here, France beating England, Portugal beating Argentina. In the semis, Portugal got through to the final, as did France. And it was eventually France who ended up winning it, with Portugal runners-up. And Switzerland, interestingly enough, won the third-placed playoff. So Kylian Mbappe and France win the World Cup 2022. For Germany, lads, it's time to give Doxy Boy a call. We've had back-to-back promotions with Dresden. We are into the Bundesliga. We've got some amazing young talent in our academy as well, as we officially end Season 2 in today's episode off with one final look at our youth squad here. And I think now is the time for the German FA to give me a call. Let me play those qualifiers for the Euros in 2024. I'll give you some of the youngsters coming through our academy and in our first team right now. Give them their first call-ups. I guarantee we'll have a much more successful national tournament next time out. But still, as Season 3 does begin, the Bundesliga has arrived for Dynamo Dresden. Yes, the first time we'll be playing in the top tier of German football. So up to the Bundesliga, and after getting £30 million for winning the 2 Liga last season, the board have given us this season £30 million, yes, basically every single penny of the prize money given to us this season. With wage budget alteration, it's more likely to be around 28 to 28.5 million. As we know, now we're in the top tier, we will need to pay players much higher wages when we're making new signings, so it's more likely 28 to 28.5 million, but that's kind of what I expected really. But basically all the prize money, if not all of it, but yeah, kind of what I was expecting, 25 to 30 mil, that's exactly what we have. So the objectives for Season 3 and our first season of the Bundesliga: avoid relegation back to the 2 Liga and reach the round of 32 of the DFB Pokal. Obviously last season, of course, in the Cup, we didn't take it that seriously, even though it was our first year in the Cup, because again, the only thing that mattered to me was promotion to the Bundesliga. I think the same is going to happen this year as well. I wouldn't mind a good Cup run, but to me, I'm fully focused on the league. And I really do believe as well that whilst the board say avoid relegation, we should be going for a top half finish, no doubt about it. Of course, 18 teams in the Bundesliga, just like in the 2 Liga. For me, I'm targeting somewhere between 8th to 10th. Maybe it sounds a little bit ambitious. We are a 3.5-star team, so statistically one of the weaker teams in the division. But as you see, a couple of youth players here that I promoted last season, including Engel, that shows great potential here. We are such a young team, and I point this out basically every time I do an RTG. When you are doing an RTG, and when you've got loads and loads of young players, many of which have decent potential, plus 77, 78 for example, they're going to be growing. Like literally every single month of the season they will be growing. If not an overall change, their individual attributes will increase. You see, Ransford Yeboah is now officially an exciting prospect. About bloody time. We love Ransford Yeboah. Got the Germany call-up last year, didn't make the World Cup squad, maybe that's why they struggled so much, but either way, Gadikli also has had a potential increase to exciting prospect. You might have noticed Bella Kotchap has potential to be special as well. But yeah, when you are managing a young team with loads of good young players, month by month they're going to get better. So the team you end the season with is going to be far better than the team you started the season with. So to me, 8th to 10th is definitely a realistic target, especially considering how confident I feel with a lot of these young players. There were several players in their deals that come the end of the year. I gave every single one a contract, of course, including our 2 best academy graduates in Sascha Hubner and also Albert Simon as well. Though I did put Kulka on the transfer list, 61 overall. I don't think he's played a game for us since the series began, so totally fine letting him go. One player I won't be letting go, unsurprisingly, Ransford Yeboah. Big bid in the first week of the transfer window, 25 mil, I think it was, from TSG Hoffenheim. This guy is club captain now. He'll stay as club captain. I made him interim captain last season, but no, he wears that armband with pride. He's lifted back-to-back titles. He's the captain of Dresden. He's going absolutely nowhere. And there's no doubt about it. 77 overall, so young as well. Got that Germany call-up last year. He is one of the best and rising young strikers in European football. Every club's going to want him. He is staying right here. Still, for new signings with Dynamo Dresden in the first season in the Bundesliga, well, I talked about this last season, of course we played a 3-4-1-2 asymmetrical formation with Dresden, and I talked about how the wide midfielders in a three-at-the-back system need to operate as secondary wing-backs as well as players that are good on the offensive end as well, and one of the problems we've got is that Julian Gattal and Diawusi on either flank aren't really defence-minded players, so my first signing was this guy, Felix Agu of Werder Bremen, and the reason I picked him up because he is exactly what I want for that role as well. Now, he's a right-footed player, though he can play left back and right back and left mid as well. Seems pretty versatile, but as a defence-minded wide midfielder that can also offer something going forward as well with the high medium work rates, absolutely rapid, and the great dribbling as well. This is exactly the sort of player we've been lacking with Dynamo Dresden. Someone that's got loads of pace, 90 stamina, so of course, I love that. I've given him a defensive wide back development plan, so that'll give him the high defensive work rate. So high work rates with 90 stamina and 91 pace is perfect. And again, he's a good defender, but can also offer something on the offensive end as well. This is what I wanted in this Dresden system, because again, Diawusi and Gattal, they're not defence-minded players, but Agu can defend well, and he can offer something going forward as well. So absolute steal to bring him in, 12.25 million. Yes, a high sell-on clause, but again, that's redundant, as we won't sell him throughout the course of the series, and Agu becomes our first signing of the new era here in the Bundesliga, and a club record signing at that as well. So we also brought in 3 new players as well for 4 new signings to start the season off. Ismail Bandowski, who is a free agent, regen/new gen, 21 years old, but again, I was looking for those sort of like full-back/wing-back/defence wide midfielders that can operate in this team. He looks pretty decent, 21 years old, 69 overall. A lot of progression required, but I'm going to train him as a left midfielder. That will probably take him over a year to complete. Also, Kilian Ludwig, who is 22 years old and 71 overall. Once again, just like Bandowski, who we just picked up in Agu as well. I'm looking for those sort of players we don't have in this team, those defence-minded wide midfielders. So Ludwig was our third signing of the transfer window. And once again, as you'll see, I do decide to change the position as well, because he's got both fullbacks, right back and left back with right wing back listed position, but again, we don't operate with those sort of players. We need wide midfielders and defence-minded wide midfielders in this team. So Ludwig and Bandowski going to change their positions to right mid and left mid respectively. And the fourth and final sign of the window so far that I picked up is probably my favourite of the lot. Marcel Hartel. Brilliant name to begin with, but 26 years old, 74 rated. It's a pretty expensive contract, 24.5 grand a week, but did you notice it there? High work rate with 96 stamina. This is my sort of player. Energy, legs for days, literally never stops running. I don't know why he hasn't got the engine trait or speciality, but he looks absolutely sublime with a 4-star weak foot as well. This guy is all about the energy, man, and I absolutely love that. Every team needs a Marcel Hartel. Every team needs a workhorse with the energy and the high defensive work rate and high attacking work rate and the high stamina as well. So really happy to sign him. And Agu as well. Don't forget with Agu, given in the defensive wide back position development plan, that will see his defensive work rate go to high as well. So we'll have 2 new players coming in, 2 of those 4 new signings with 90 plus stamina and high work rates. That is my sort of player. But anyway, we had another academy update here as we enter the first of the month. As you can see, I changed the position of Linus Huber, who looks pretty decent at 6'6" as well, of 81 to 87 potential to a holding midfielder. And we had yet another loan offer for Armindo, which I decided to reject, a loan deal option to buy. And also Jonathan David was wanted by Fenerbahce, but I think he's going to be a starting centre-back for us this season. I think David had more clean sheets than Kevin last season. We gave a new contract to, but I think David is probably our 3rd best centre-back in this team, as you rejected these 2 bids here for Armindo, the loan deals. And also, speaking of centre-backs, I changed the position of Constantine in our academy. I love seeing this. It looks so cool, doesn't it? I hesitated for a minute there, but yeah, 48 to 59 is the overall jump, plus 11 after changing him to centre-back. There's something so satisfying about that. I don't know if you guys are the same as me, when you change a player's position, particularly when they're still in the academy, and they jump up their overall by so many ratings, plus 11. That's incredible. It just looks really cool, and it's so satisfying. So yeah, he looks pretty decent now, 59 overall, and we'll wait until he hits 60 before we promote them to the first team. So for the opening day of the Bundesliga, Wolfsburg away. Again, the board have said just avoid relegation, but I'm going to be going for that 8th to 10th spot this season, outside of the European place, but a top 10 finish. And on the opening day against Wolfsburg, Agu making his debut in this one with just 30 minutes into the game. We go a goal up. We're known for being a high-powered offensive team. We are back-to-back top scorers in the 2 Liga and the 3 Liga. We'll always get goals, as will that man. First goal in the Bundesliga era for Dynamo Dresden. Everyone knew who it was going to be. Yes, Ranford Bowl. A tap in for our first goal of the new season. We go a goal up, and in 10 minutes after the restart, we double our lead as well. Felix Agu with 2 assists on the opening day. And again, this is why I brought him in, man. He'll have those high work rates very soon. The really high standard, a rapid pace. And again, good on the defensive end, as he was all game long, making some really important interceptions, including here to set up a counter-attack. And also when going forward, offering something as well. He was the heartbeat in this game, as Ranford Bowl bagged a brace on the opening day as well. 30 minutes to go. The club captain with 2 goals, leading by example. I can't believe when I made him captain I said, oh well, he might have it temporarily. What a load of rubbish. He was always going to be the official club captain for good. But still, 3 in the final score, win on the opening day as we expected, as we wanted. And again, even though the board said we just got to avoid a relegation this season, that is just way too low of an expectation. Come on board, know our worth, baby. We're in 8th to 10th place in the Bundesliga. That's what I'm going for this season. Sneaking in to the Europa League will be amazing, but a top 10 finish is definitely a minimum requirement. But that will end today's episode of Club and Country, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country as we play our second episode of the new season, as we play 3 more games of the Bundesliga and have transfer deadline day as well. Very soon.